Imagine rejecting a precious child after 17 years of childlessness. The whole story starts with this guy, David Earhart. David is a 42-year-old man living in a cramped, run-down apartment in Chicago, Illinois, with his wife, Margaret, a 37-year-old woman when the story started. They had been married for 17 long years, praying, hoping, and wishing for a child they never received. Their lives were simple and filled with struggle. David worked at a local warehouse, and Margaret cleaned houses for people to support their living. But the hardest part wasn't the poverty. It was the cruelty of people. Neighbors mocked them. Relatives whispered. Strangers made tasteless comments about their childlessness. Margaret cried many nights. David kept silent, his heart aching in ways he could not express. Then, after 17 years of waiting, it finally happened. Margaret gave birth to a baby boy. Their joy was overwhelming until they saw the child. The boy had an unusually large head. David froze, staring at him with shock and discomfort. Margaret held the baby close, tears in her eyes. "David, look at him," she whispered. "He's our child. No matter what anyone says, he is perfect to me. He is a miracle. We love him, or we don't love him at all." But David turned away, anger rising inside him. "Love him?" he shouted. "People already mock us for being childless. Now they'll mock us for this. Maybe we should just—" "No," Margaret snapped. "This is our child. I carried him for 9 months. We do not throw away what God gave us. You either accept him or you leave." And David left. Within a week, he divorced Margaret and married another woman, Vanessa, hoping to have a normal child. But fate was cruel to him again. Vanessa also never bore him any children. Meanwhile, Margaret struggled alone, raising her son Ethan in the same tiny old apartment. Life was painfully difficult. They barely had food. Rent was a constant battle, and the mockery from the streets never stopped. Children chanted, "Big head, big head!" Adults whispered. Strangers stared. But Margaret always told Ethan, "Ignore them, my son. They don't know you. What matters is your mind, your heart, your spirit. One day you will show them who you truly are." Ethan grew into a brilliant child. He read everything he could find. He asked deep questions. He challenged teachers. He dreamed boldly. Margaret sold everything: furniture, clothes, personal belongings, even her wedding ring to fund his schooling. She worked 3 jobs, never complaining, always believing. Ethan excelled through high school, was accepted into the University of Chicago, then earned a master's degree at Harvard. Everywhere he went, he shocked people not by his appearance, but by his intelligence and confidence. Eventually, he joined the world of politics. He became so impressive, so bold and articulate, that he was chosen to work directly with the President of the United States. His speeches gained attention. His ideas gained respect. America saw something in him that no one saw when he was a mock child. Years later, when the president's tenure ended, the citizens of the United States elected Ethan as their new president. His first act? To honor the woman who sacrificed everything for him. Margaret moved into a luxurious mansion. She rode in luxury cars. She even had access to her own private plane. The world finally recognized her son's greatness. Meanwhile, David's life had crumbled. His second marriage was unhappy and childless. He lived in poverty, filled with regret. Every time Ethan appeared on TV, David cried. He begged strangers, "Please, tell my son I'm sorry. Tell him I was wrong. Tell him I regret everything I did." One day, David stood outside the presidential building, trembling, broken, ashamed. When Ethan came out, David fell to his knees. "Son, please forgive me," he sobbed. "I was foolish. I didn't understand. I was wrong." Ethan looked at him for a long moment. "Father, you made choices that hurt us, but family is bigger than mistakes. I forgive you." David broke into tears. Margaret stepped forward, smiling with grace. The boy who was once mocked for his big head had become the President of the United States. He had turned pain into power, mockery into mastery, rejection into redemption. And in the end, he chose love over bitterness, proving that greatness is not defined by appearance, but by heart, courage, and forgiveness.